We'll start today with a bit of seated breath work and then say hello to our necks. So find a comfortable upright position. You might be sitting with legs crossed on a mat, on a bolster, or on a chair even. And as you settle in, root down into your foundation, whatever you're physically sitting on and in contact with, and then lengthen the spine of your head up, the crown of your head upright. Tried to say two things at once, and they collided in my mouth. Relax your shoulders, place your hands and arms wherever it's comfortable for you. If you like, close the eyes and take a breath in and gently let it out through the mouth. Take another breath in, generous inhale, and let it out through the mouth. One more just like that. And let it out. Take this opportunity to check in. Notice where you're at in this moment. There may be some tight spots, some stiffness. You may feel pretty good today. Check in with your energy level. This is an opportunity for us to touch base with ourselves and notice what our own internal weather conditions are, if you will. What's our internal weather like today? And that can help inform our practice. If we're feeling really fatigued, maybe we want to lighten the touch on things that feel more physically challenging if we're feeling depleted that day. If we've got a little bit of extra energy, maybe that's a good time to nudge ourselves forward a bit more than we would. If we're feeling overwhelmed or sad, and really, in all cases, bring as much kindness into your practice today as possible. And if it's a struggle to be kind with yourself right now, bring in a little bit of kindness around that. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Take a few more breaths right here, observing. And when you're ready, blink the eyes open, sitting tall. We'll do some movements of the head and the neck with a bit of resistance. Remember, you are in charge of your body. So if you want to, you can be very, very light with the touch. If you want to, you can be more enthusiastic. But there's no need to be like really aggressive and punishing. Um, this is really meant to increase. We stretch our necks a lot, but we don't always strengthen them as well, and we need both parts for healthy necks and healthy movement. So we'll start with a rotation. Begin by facing forward, sit nice and tall, and we'll look over. We'll use our left hand, but we'll look over the right shoulder. So turn your head and neck all the way over to the right. Place your left hand somewhere around the temple where it can give you some resistance. And you'll keep the long spine, You'll keep the feeling of resistance between the head and the hand, but slowly the head will overtake the hand and your head slowly turns so you're facing forward. You can stop there or you can continue the rotation with resistance as you go around to look the other way. Try not to take the chest there. We're moving the head and the neck. Then relax that hand. Now you're looking over the left shoulder. Take your right hand and come back the other way. Same thing. Long spine and just a slight advantage to the head and neck. Resisting all the way over. Chest still faces forward, head turns. Release the arm one more time in each direction. Sit tall, left hand, resisting as you turn toward it. And especially in that very last little bit, try not to take the chest, just the head and the neck, release the arm, and then we come back. Long spine. I find it useful to remind myself to lengthen the spine. Release the hands completely, come to center, give the shoulders a gentle roll. And now we'll do flexion and extension, lifting the chin and lowering it, again with resistance. You can use one hand behind the head or you can use both hands. And again, you're in charge of how much resistance. It'll look like this. I'll show first since you won't be looking this way. We'll start with the chin down. The hands provide a little bit of resistance. We'll slowly lift up. That was not so slowly. And then lift the chin. So we'll do that twice. When we come down, we'll change the hands. Lower the chin to the chest. Slowly, 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 resisting the head into the hands. Stay tall and lift your chin any amount. Let the head resist into the hands. And then I said we'd change the hands. I lied. The head comes back up. It's just that the hands now are slightly winning as the head comes forward. There's still resistance. And one more time. Slowly coming up. Feel the resistance that engages the muscles down the nape of the neck and maybe even down in between the shoulder blades. And then resisting as you come the other way. Hands have the advantage on the way back. And then when you come back, release the arms, slowly bring the head to upright. Just notice what it feels like in there. Now we'll take the head on a diagonal. One movement will take us so we're looking almost in the armpit sniffing direction. And then the movement of the head, this is shown without the hand, the movement of the head will be up like, hey, what's that? Up in the corner. And then we'll come back down. So same thing with the hands as we did with the rotation. As you look toward your left armpit, place your right hand around the temple. So looking first toward the armpit and then sweeping slowly up on the diagonal with the amount of resistance that feels right for you. And when you're looking up at the glow stars on your ceiling, stay there, change hands. Left hand will take us back down to the armpit. Resist on the way down. Release that. Come to neutral. Turn the nose down to the right armpit. Left hand is on the head. And slowly bringing the head up and left and up and left and up and left until you're looking up and out. Switch the hands. Right hand will take you back down to the right armpit. Diagonal, 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 diagonal. Release. And let's do one last direction of movement we haven't yet explored here. Head starts out in the center. Tilt the right ear to the right shoulder. And I bet you can guess this. Your left hand is on the head. We'll go one way, then we'll switch the hands. Sit tall. Resist the head as it comes upright. And then you decide how far over it comes. Keep the rest of your body upright. It's not a whole side bend with the spine. We'll do that next. Release the arm. Now switch hands. Right hand resists as the head comes back up, fully upright, and then as far over to the other side as you choose. Muscles can feel really like, ooh, hello, that's contracted. Release there. Bring the head to neutral and roll the shoulders. If the legs are crossed, take a moment to change the cross of your legs. And let's take our whole spine into a lateral bend. So not just the head and the neck. Tilt the head over to the right though to start. Walk the right hand off to the side. Take the left hand behind your head. And from this position, zip up your belly, root down into your seat, and lengthen. So at first, it's a little bit of side bend, but it's a whole lot of making as much length as possible between the left elbow pointing at the ceiling and the left side of your bum, which is anchored into your seat. Now keep the roots on your sitting bones, but add any amount of side stretch. If you like, reach the left arm up and over. You're in charge here. If you're leaning hard onto the bottom arm, see if engaging some of the muscles in your abdomen can help hugging in, rooting you down without having to lean hard on the bottom hand. A good test is, can you lift that arm up? Yeah, that's it. If it doesn't feel right, you can lower it back down, leave it there. If you want a little extra work, leave the arm raised. And on an inhale, come back to center. Both arms down. Roll the shoulders. Let's go forward this time. And then other side. Left hand goes out to the left, right hand behind. Start first by rooting down into your seat and lengthening the distance between the right side of your bum and your right elbow. Lengthening. Then gradually add the side bend, the curved piece of it. If you like, add the top arm reaching up and over. And more than anything, breathe. Breathe in, breathe out. Add the bottom arm if you wish. If you're not quite sure, you can lift it up and then touch it down again. Feel for the difference. Engage the muscles that wrap around the abdomen. They are your friends. And when you're ready, inhale your way to upright and exhale, the arms come down. Bring the hands to the legs and let's flex and extend the whole length of the spine. Pull the navel in and round the back. Inhale and lift the heart. Let the shoulders melt. Just like that. Exhale, draw the navel in and round. Inhale, lift the heart open. Just like that. And back to neutral. And now raise the arms overhead. Keep the arms reaching up to the sky. Sit really tall and twist to the right. Keep the arms raised this round. Come back to center. Twist to the other side. Keep the arms raised. Return to center. Lower the arms for a moment. One more time, arms overhead. Inhale. Exhale, twist. Stay there in the twist. Are you sitting evenly, or is the torso leaning and one side of your bum is holding you up? If that's the case, even things out. When you're ready, lower your arms. You might take the left hand to the right leg. Right hand somewhere behind you. And then how long can your spine be? And how much can your shoulders let go of their grip? If they are really curious about what's happening in your ears, let it go. Look over the shoulder if you like. Unwind gently, raise the arms when you're at center. Feel how evenly you're sitting when you're in the center, and then keep that evenness as you rotate to the other side. Keep that evenness, even as the arms come down. Maybe the right hand goes to the left leg. You decide the arm position, keeping the spine long, looking over the left shoulder if you wish. Most of all, breathing. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling, exhaling. On an inhale, unwind, raise the arms to center. Palms touch, and then draw a line to your heart. Palms come straight down the middle. Take the palms open, kind of like you're reading an invisible book. And imagine that your wrists have magnets in them, and your wrists are going to want to stay together, but you'll roll to the inner wrist, heels of the hands touching, and then palms face away, continue to roll around. It has a little bit of a hula feeling in the movement. So the wrists are rotating all the way around. The elbows are moving to accommodate the wrists moving. See how much range of motion we can find in here. Now go the other way. Yeah, that's it. And then interlace the fingers, turn the palms away from you, reach long. Take the palms up overhead, lengthen. Press up with the index finger side of the palm as much as the pinky finger side of the palm. Bend the elbows, bring the hands in front of you. Notice which index finger is on top, and you'll switch it so the other index finger is on top. When it feels nice and awkward, press the palms away again and raise the arms overhead. And again, now this way, since it's the less intuitive interlace, might feel weird. Weird's okay. Press up with the index finger side of the palm as much as the pinky finger side. One more breath here. And gently release. Last little arm thing we'll do. Actually, this is for like the tendons in the wrists and the forearms. I'm going to come close so you can see. Have your forearms out in front of you with soft fists, right? So I'm doing like that. And the movement is curl your palm in toward the inner wrist. And then back to neutral. I'll show up from sideways too. Curl in and then release. Do that 2 more times. If you've got any funky elbow stuff that this triggers, don't do it to the point of recreating pain, but just to where it's like, oh, well, this is interesting. And then release. All right, let's come onto our backs. We'll do a little bit of good stuff for our spine. Lie down on your back. Have the knees bent. Take a moment to hug the knees and rock. I'm going to grab my mat. I just realized I didn't have it down there. As you lie down on your back, hug the knees and rock. Then place the feet flat on your mat. with the feet flat, the knees bent, bring your attention to your spine. And our aim here as we're starting is start out with the whole spine in neutral. Whatever the natural curve of your low back is, let it be there. Which means for some of us, the back might be touching the mat, the low back that is. For others of us, you may have a little space or a lot of space. Whatever your natural neutral spine position is, let it be here. And we'll do the slowest bridge pose ever, but this is less of a regular yoga bridge while we're in yoga. Usually we're looking to lift the hips and really get into a back bend. Our purpose here is different. We're using the bridge position or the bridge shape as a way to really articulate the spine and most of all engage some of the muscles in the backs of the legs and wake up our back muscles and our core for the health of our back. So we'll start with the feet planted firmly. And our mission at first, go ahead and place your hands around your rib cage and abdomen and give the message to this area to stay right where it is. And you'll start to press your belly button down, pull your belly button down, press your low back down into the mat. Abdominal muscles are working. Rib cage is just where it is. And then squeeze your glutes and lift just your bum up off the mat and try to, now this is tough for me, try to lift your bum a little but not lift your low back. And then relax down. We're back in neutral, and let's do it again. Just the bum, but try not to lift the low back. So pull the belly button down, flatten the low back first, squeeze the glutes and lift the bum. Relax back into neutral. Let's do two more. Pull the belly button down, squeeze the glutes and lift your bum. And back down. Now, let's do the same thing, but we're going to add the low back. So section by section. Pull the belly button down, just like before. Lift your glutes, and then let your low back lift, but keep your ribs down. Keep your rib cage on the mat, all the way down to the lowest rib. Now, as you come down, see if you can lower your low back first, and then let your pelvis land and you're in neutral. Just like that, two more times. Pull the belly button down. The glutes lift first, then the low back, the rib cage stays down, 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 down. Slowly lower the low back and then your bum. Take a breath. Let's add the rib cage gradually. It's the next in the sequence, right? Pull the belly button down, squeeze the glutes, they lift. The low back lifts, and then the bottom of the rib cage lifts. Now you can put your hands wherever you want now as we let the ribs start to come up, and then slowly lower down. The lowest ribs touch down, and then the low back curls down, and then the pelvis and the bum land. Let's do it again like that. Pull the belly button down, squeeze the glutes, they lift, the low back lifts. Now the rib cage from the bottom upward to wherever it lifts. Pause there, take a breath, or three, and then gradually down. The lowest ribs land, the low back curls down, and then the glutes. Now your glutes, if they're working as they should be getting a little tired now, or at least feeling some work. If that's the case, that is good news. If your low back is hurting, use your butt more and your legs more, and see if that helps. Okay, this time, the last little piece that we'll add will be the arms, and they'll take the last spot, but they kind of go up with the rib cage. So here's the deal. As we come up this next time, when your rib cage is starting to lift up, your arms will slowly go up overhead, and then they're free to go as far overhead and behind you as you want. We'll stay there, breathe, and then come down. We'll do that a few times as well. All right, arms start out by your sides with the palms facing in toward neutral, toward your midline rather. Press your feet, zip up your belly, pull the belly button down again. The glutes squeeze and lift up first, then the low back. Then the bottom of the rib cage, the arms will slowly start to come as the rib cage lifts and the arms sweep up overhead. Breathe, relax your neck, your jaw. Take another breath while you're here. And slowly the arms will come down, roll down over the shoulder blades, down to the lowest ribs, the low back, and the hips and the arms, and everything lands. Let's do that 2 more times. Pull the belly button down, squeeze the glutes, they'll lift. Then the low back lifts. Then the bottom of the rib cage. The arms start to come up. The arms go all the way overhead. We breathe, we breathe, we breathe. Relax your shoulders. Still keep the glutes active. Take another breath or 3 up here. And slowly down. The arms start. The shoulder blades come down. The lowest ribs, the low back, and the bum. One last time. Pull the belly button down. Squeeze the glutes. They lift. The low back lifts. The lowest rib cage lifts. The arms start to come up and stay wherever you land. The feet are planted. The glutes are squeezing. Let the shoulders relax a little away from your ears. Let your jaw unclench. But most of all, breathe. And then slowly make your way down. Start with the arms, roll down over the shoulder blades, roll down to the lower rib cage, roll down into the low back, and let your bum come down. Relax the whole thing. Let the arms come out a little bit away from, well, a lot, any amount you want. Arms come out to the sides and let the head roll. Walk your feet a little wider. And the knees will sway. It's like a little teeny windshield wiper. This is really for the purpose of unwinding our neck right now. We'll come back and do a bigger windshield wiper later. Come back to center, walk your feet in. Hug your knees in, happy baby. Knees are bent, feet are lightly flexed, and the knees are fairly wide apart. The hands can start out, I like to start out behind the thighs, so that I can use the arms, either the hands or the forearms, to draw the knees toward the mat, toward the armpit. It feels like it gives my low back extra length when I start out this way. And then if you like, you can walk the hands up the shins toward the feet, wherever they want to go, as long as your neck and your head don't get picked up in the process. Leave your neck alone. Let it be happy here. Rock a little. Good. Now come back to center and rock over. Actually, don't rock over. Let's do one more thing here. Touch your feet down. Open your arms out wide to the sides. We'll take the knees side to side, and our mission here is to start with the knees closer to the body. Sometimes we do this, we're trying to get 90 degrees. In this case, not so much. We're going to bring the knees a bit closer. And as they go over to one side, so as your knees go over to your, let's say, left hand, they're going to really try to get up there. Like the knees are going to really look to meet the hand, but then pay attention to the right shoulder blade. Did it lift up? And if it did, put it back down. And then pull the belly button down like we did in our bridge pose. Pull the belly button down as your knees come back to center, and they slowly go over to the other side. But when the knees go to the right, keep an eye on the left shoulder blade. If it picks up, that's too far. Bring it back down. Slowly back to center. Pull the belly button down. The abs are really helping us here. When the knees go to the left, keep the right shoulder blade down. Pull the belly button down a lot as you change sides. When the knees go to the right, it's the left shoulder blade to keep an eye on. The other one will just stay. It's not that it's not important, it just doesn't tend to lift. Exhale, pull the belly button down. Just like that. 2 more times to each side. Take it at your own pace. When you're back at center, touch the feet down. Heel toe your feet mat width or a little wider than mat width apart. Arms stay open wide. Tip the knees to the left so you're rocking onto the edges of the feet. Reach the right arm overhead if you wish. Lengthen the whole right side of the body. Breathe into the right side of your rib cage and waist. Breathe into the front of the right thigh. Take a couple more breaths here. The right fingertips and the right kneecap are lengthening in opposite directions from each other. And gently release. Bring the knees to center and over to the other side. Same thing here when the knees tip to the right. If you'd like, reach the left arm overhead. Definitely breathe. How much space can you give the left side of the torso? Can you breathe a little extra into the left lung and ribs? Can the front of the left thigh become more spacious? A lot of the sitting in front of screens that many of us have done in the last many weeks makes the hip flexors rest short. So this is a chance for them to lengthen out. And come on back to center, release the arms, walk the feet in. You choose, well, don't choose yet. Come with me on this adventure first, then you can choose. Hug your knees in, little knee pumps. So there's a bit of momentum, and you can let your bum come up as you hug your knees and let them go, and hug your knees and let them go. Head and the neck stay where they are. Now, if this movement feels very nice for you, you can add a bit more range to it and give a little kick to the feet overhead, almost like you're getting ready to do plow pose, only we're not really aiming to get the hips that high. It's more that we want to massage the back from the bottom to the top. Now, if that doesn't agree with you, the knee pumps. And if neither agrees with you, side to side. And then now your opportunity to choose has arrived. We'll come up to hands and knees to tabletop. And you can rock forward and back or rock to the side. It is your choice. It is your body. You are inside of it. This would be a lovely time to make sure that you have that block or that other lightweight object that we'll pick up shortly. And then arrange yourself in tabletop. Hands underneath the shoulders, fingers spread wide. You can always go to forearms if that feels better for your wrists. As you exhale, lift the navel, let the neck lengthen in the back. And as you inhale, gradually find your way into a back bend. Exhale, lift the navel and press the floor away. Inhale, gently into a back bend. Just like that, exhaling, rounding in the Halloween cat position. Inhaling in a gentle back. Now roll the ribs around. Roll the other way. Come to upright, either standing on your shins or sitting on your feet for a moment, just so your torso is upright. So if this is comfortable, great. If it's not comfortable to sit on your feet, come to standing on your shins. Our focus will be the arms out, and I call these zombie shoulder rolls. The arms are out in front and the shoulders are rolling. Pay attention to, the arms are kind of parallel to the floor, so there's a right angle between your torso and your arms. The arms stay parallel to each other and the elbows stay straight. Now, Put your palms forward, like, stop, other zombies, don't come this way. So from the side, it's got this weird thing going on in the shoulders. Pay attention to the shoulder blades and how they're moving around your back. Go the other way. Now, recreate that same rolling shoulder blade feeling on hands and knees. So now the hands are fixed. Roll your shoulders and chest all around your arm bones. If it the weirder it feels, the better the chance that you're doing it right. Go the other way. Yeah. Yeah, weird is kind of key in this. But our shoulder blades need to be able to move freely around our back. When they can, it has a very helpful effect on our whole shoulder range of motion. All right, now grab your lightweight object. So you know shoulder thread the needle when you dive through. So let's say you dive your right arm through and then we'd rest the head and the arm. Well, there is no resting in this version. It's with the block. And you're holding the block in your right hand. This is like my new favorite thing to do. It's so weird, but it's so awesome. Hold the block in your right hand. This is what it looks like. You dive through, do not touch the floor with that shoulder or head. That's how it's partly how it's different. Now as you come back up, we're going to do a weird thing. Swing the block to the back, to your legs, and your elbow to the front. This is a very awkward way to rotate your arm, but boy, it is going to be useful for us. Keep holding the block and open up into a twist. You'll need to do this slowly so the block doesn't drop. And then come back to starting position, and we do it again. Okay? I'll talk us through. Hold the block in your right hand. Left hand is in the hands and knees tabletop. Dive all the way through with the right arm. Undive, pull the block back, rotate the block to your legs, the elbow to the front, go all the way out until your palm is up, and now open up into a twist. Press the left hand down while the right hand takes the block to the ceiling. Yeah, feel the twistiness here. And then slowly lower the block. Pivot the forearm and take the block all the way through. Thread your needle, get down low, but don't touch the mat. One more time. Pull the block back, elbow forward, block goes back. Keep the block there. Open up into the twist. Breathe, 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 breathe. Press the left hand down to send the right arm up. And then unwind. And release. And we change sides. If you don't have a block, you can do it without a block. If you're like, this hands and knees business is not for me, you'll do a twist to one side and then come back. So you get the rotation in the spine. Let's switch sides. Block is in the left hand. Bend the elbow, dive through. Do not touch the floor, but do feel free to bend your right elbow. Get kind of close to the floor. Flirting with the idea of touching it, but not. And then pull the block back, elbow forward, block goes back, rotate out to the side, the backwards up position, and then up we go in the twist. Oh, this side for me is noticeably tighter. So you may find some difference in one side. Start coming back down. Pivot the forearm, dive through again. I find this movement, like the first time it makes no sense, but then it starts to kind of make sense. Pivot the forearm, palm to the sky, open up in the twist. That's it, that's it, that's it. And back down we go. And then one last time. Pivot the forearm, dive through, but don't touch. Pull the block back, rotate the forearm, block to the back, remember. Up to the sky, press the hand in the floor to send the other block up high, oh my, and then gently Gently bring it back down, rotate it, set the block off to the side, and child's pose. Knees as wide as you like, lean back toward the hips. If it feels good to give your head something to rest on, your hands, your block, your mat, relax the shoulders, the neck, the upper back, the area all around the shoulder blades, and the rib cage that we've just been moving in these interesting ways. From your child's pose, walk your hands to the right. Side bending child's pose. If it feels interesting, stack the left hand on top of the right. Remember, nothing's mandatory except that you breathe. The rest of the instruction, it is but a suggestion. Walk the hands to the left. Right hand on top if you wish. Breathing deeply. Walk the hands back to center. And from here, find your way back to hands and knees. Place the hands a little in front of the shoulders and shrug your shoulders down. Tuck your toes underneath. And either lift your hips and knees and find your way to downward facing dog. Feet nice and wide as you pedal the feet slowly, bending one knee, stretching the other heel down towards your mat. And if that doesn't feel right for you, you might stay on the shins and stretch the arms out forward. This is sometimes called kneeling puppy. So it looks like downward facing dog from the pelvis to the hands, but we do it on the shins instead. So you choose your downward facing dog or your kneeling puppy. If you're pedaling the feet, take a moment and let both heels come down. Lengthen the spine. So even whether you're on the shins or on the feet, the work in the arms is very similar. We're reaching out long. We have a neutral spine, but we're tipped kind of over. And we breathe. And we breathe and we breathe. And we breathe and we breathe and we breathe. When you're ready, walk your hands and feet toward each other. And from here, feet about shoulder width, maybe a bit wider. Bend your knees enough that your fingertips can touch the floor lightly. Now, if the floor is too far away, place your forearms on your thighs instead. And bend your knees a lot and drop your hips. So you're in a kind of wide-legged squat. And then we'll slowly lift the hips, let go of the arms, and hang in a forward bend. Just those two positions. We'll let the butt come down and go into a squat, and then the bum comes up and we're in a forward bend. The feet are fairly wide though. Bend the knees, lower the bum. Now, if you're feeling very groovy and you want to take your hips way down, do a low squat, you can. If your body's like, yeah, I'm just not ready for that right now, then don't do that just yet. Lift your hips up. We're in a forward bend. Relax the neck. Let's do it again. Slowly bend the knees more. Let the hips come down. Find your way into some semblance of squattiness. And then press the feet, zip up the belly. Lift your bum up and let your head hang. Turn the head side to side. Now from here, turn yourself to face, if you've got a mat, the front of your mat. Press into your feet. Slowly come up. Rise up all the way to standing, reaching up overhead, and bring your hands to your heart. Let's add a little half sun salute here. I'm going to face you while I do it though. Root down, inhale. Make a generous circle out to the sides, up to the sky. Exhale, bend your knees. Hands slide down the legs, fold as low as you choose. Halfway up on an inhale. All the way down to wherever your low is. Exhale. Press into your feet. Zip up your belly a lot. When you're ready, open the arms out to the sides, up to the sky, and hands to the heart. Ardha Surya Namaskar, half sun salutation. Root down into your feet. Inhale, the arms come up. Exhale, fold down to your low. The knees are bent at least a little. Inhale, halfway up and pause. Exhale, back down low. Press the feet, zip up the belly. And when you're ready, raise the arms, reach to the sky. Hands to the heart. One more time. Root down, inhale, reach out and up. Exhale, fold down low. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold down again, however low you want. Press down, rise up, inhale. Hands to the heart, exhale. Release the arms. Circle the hips, any amount. Reverse direction. Take the feet wider than shoulder width. How wide is up to you. Have it feel anchored and stable. Hands on the outside of the legs. Press into your left foot, zip up your belly, and have the left foot pressing send you a little over to the right. So you're leaning and your right hand is sliding down the outer leg. Keep your belly zipping up. And if you like, add your other arm, your left arm, sneaking its way up. Reach up long. Breathe here. Feel the space in this stretching side. Now, this might be familiar because we did a version of this seated. Add your right arm, your bottom arm, reaching out. So it winds up parallel to the floor, and then bring it back down. Notice the extra work in the core. If there isn't any, engage your abs a bit extra. Raise the arm, hold it out at horizontal, send it back down, and then your choice. You can leave the hand down or you can raise it up. It's extra work if you want to raise the arm. The choice is yours. Breathe here. And the choice is also yours whether you keep one arm or both raised as we come to center. Exhale. Come all the way up. Release the arms and roll the shoulders. Plant the feet, hands on the outer legs, zip up the belly, and as you press into your right foot, it sends you out, sliding down the left leg. Breathe here. Keep pressing into the right foot, keep zipping up the belly, and sneak the other arm up. If you go slowly, I find that I get more out of the pose in terms of feeling the length. Breathe. And then let's play with the bottom arm. Keep the feet anchored, the belly zipped up, and exhale, raise the arm to horizontal. Inhale and lower it. Exhale, raise the arm. Inhale, back down to the leg. You choose either lift and lower one last time or lift and hold for extra challenge. Breathe while you're here. Keep the feet planted, keep the belly zipped up. And exhale, up we go to center. Take a breath in here, reach up tall, and exhale, release the arms down. Roll the shoulders. Heel toe the feet back in. From standing, we'll do a bit of hip mobility and balance. If it feels better to have your hand on a wall or on furniture, you can have that. If it feels okay to be in the middle of the room, then be in the middle of the room. Shift your weight to your right foot. Zip up the belly and look out at an imaginary horizon line. So you're looking straight out, neither up nor down, and steady your gaze on that spot. Don't go bananas. It's not like a laser beam that's going to burn that spot. It's a soft gaze way out there that helps us to focus. Shift your weight to your right foot and bend your left knee. So you're just on the tippy toes of your left foot. Zip up your belly again. Now, this is for hip mobility, but of course it's also balance. Raise your knee, open it out to the side, and make circles. Make slow circles, and as large as works for you. If you want to touch down in between circles. If you want to add to the balance challenge, make the largest circle you can and don't touch the foot to the floor in between. Same leg, other direction. Remember, you can touch the floor at any time and go with whatever range of motion works for you. Good, maybe one more. Bring the leg down, shake both feet out, wriggle around, and now to the other side. Shift to the other foot, zip up the belly, set your gazing spot, and then raise the knee. It can be little circles with the foot touching if it feels dicey today. Enlarge the circles as feels appropriate for this leg right now. But most of all, breathe. Yeah, that's it. One more time. And then reverse direction. That's it. Saying hello to moving the hip while getting a bit of resistance from gravity. Stand on both feet when you finish that last circle, and then wriggle around, shake the legs out, move your bum around. Good. Let's check your space. I always wind up a little closer to a wall than I realize, and let your arms flail about. It's a twist for your spine, but in a floppy arm way. I imagine this is like being in the old school washing machines, right? And this is your agitator. Just washing out some of the gunk that may have accumulated there recently, anywhere in the body. Wash it out, let it go. If it's really stuck, needs a little stain treatment, let it be what it is. I'm not trying to make anything magically change. All right, release. Inhale the arms overhead. Exhale the hands to the heart. Now stand on both feet once again. One more time with our balance challenge. Shift the weight to your right foot. Bend the left knee. Now this time, same kind of idea. If a wall or furniture makes it feel more stable, you can use that. You can also leave one foot on the mat. So I've got the ball of the foot on the mat and then the heel resting on the other leg. So it's kind of a kickstand. Then raise the arms up. Get nice and long. Now if that feels comfortable and you want to make it perhaps a bit less or more comfortable, pull the leg up your inseam. Pull the leg up. Oh, yeah, without using the hands. Yeah, this is a good challenge. And breathe, and breathe. And let the leg land wherever the leg lands today. And breathe. And wobbling and swaying is just fine. My brother sent me a video of the pine trees where he lives swaying in the breeze. He's up on San Juan Island in Washington. And it's just so soothing to watch the way the trees sway. They're not struggling. And it's a good thing for me to remind myself. Maybe it'll help you too. Bring the arms down and bring the knee in. Shake out the legs. Before we go to the other side, take the foot you were just standing on and give it a little mushing, rolling around. Rotate the ankle and mush around on the ball of the foot. Yeah. All right, now we stand on both feet, zip up the belly, and change sides. Shift the weight to the other leg. Start with a bent knee and the kickstand position. Part of the challenge in going in this way is pulling the foot up without the assistance of the hands. Raise the arms if you like. Breathe. I especially like the raised arms because it feels like it brings more energy into the pose. So find an arm position that works for you, that feels open, energizing. Eyes on the steady gazing spot, but let your tree sway in the breeze. All the swaying, we get the benefits of tolerating some things that we can't control. We also get stronger in our core as it brings us back to center. And we become more resilient, especially as we fall out and come back in again. So we're not trying to make the perfect picture of a pose. It's a process. Breathe in, breathe out. And when you're ready, bring the arms down, bring the legs down, shake out the legs, and then give the standing leg a little foot mushing, ankle rotating. Good. Nice. Let's take the feet fairly wide apart now. And we'll start up high. We're going to do a sideways lunge. So the feet are facing forward. And we'll lean over to the left leg as the knee bends. Then we'll lean over to the right leg as the right knee bends. We're still facing forward, but we're going side to side. Now, you'll let your butt go back and your head go forward, get a little lower. I feel like I'm like a speed skater here. Really slow motion speed skater. And now, from wherever you are in the lowishness of the side lunge, bend your left knee and take your hands somewhere on your left leg. It can be the thigh, it can be the shin, it can be the floor if you want. Now, if your hands were on the floor, bring them to your legs somewhere. And let your head hang. Leave your hands on your leg and switch to the other side with the legs. So bend your right knee and lean over to the right while still holding on to your left leg. Just notice how that feels. Breathe while you're here. Now stay over on the right side. Take your hands over to the right leg. Somewhere. If the ankle is handy, great. The ankle is a nice place to hold on. If somewhere else feels more appropriate, then hold where it feels best for you. So we're leaning over. Everything's kind of over on the right side right now. Now, keep the hands there as you shift your weight to the left foot and bend the left knee. The lunge changes, the hands do not. Breathe and breathe and breathe and breathe. And come on back to center with the legs, center with the hands. If the feet feel too wide apart to be stable as you come up, you can walk the feet a little closer. Bend the knees, zip up the belly, and slowly make your way to standing. Inhale, root down into your feet as you reach to the sky. Exhaling, hands to your heart. So we'll head into a twist from this position. If the floor feels far away, use your block. You can place the block at its tall height. You could also, if you have like a chair or bench nearby, if you want a higher hand rest, you can put your hand on something higher. I'm going to show with a block because that's what I've got nearby. The block goes underneath the chest-ish as you're coming forward. Feet fairly wide, but stable. Right hand to your block or your chair or the floor. Other hand, left hand goes to your hip. Notice when I lean forward, often the hips and the weight goes to the back, to the heels, to the hips. Bring your weight evenly on your feet, maybe even a little to the balls of the feet. Lengthen your spine. See how long it can be? And then turn your chest. Turn your chest to the left, any amount. Press into your block and reach your other arm to the sky if you want. Kind of like what we did earlier when we're holding that block up in the air. Press down with the bottom hand and reach up with the top one and feel the rotation in the rib cage. Make your neck happy by turning your head wherever it wants to be. Inhale and exhale. Take another breath here. How long can your spine be? Bring the top arm back down. Bring yourself to center. Take a moment to fold forward and breathe here. It turned out that where I placed my block, my head rests on it. So if that happens for you, great. You can also just let the head hang without it being on something. Now let's switch hands. Left hand goes to the block. Root down into the feet. Zip up the belly. The legs are super active. Right hand is on the hip as you get even longer in your spine and the chest rotates to the right. Breathe here. Keep rooting down into the feet. Add the top arm. And as you press the block with the bottom hand, reach to the sky with the other arm. Shoulders drop down away from the ears and the spine is incredibly long. And then remember to breathe. That's it. That's it. Unwind gently. Come to center, relax the neck. Zip up the belly, bend the knees. Let the arms and the head and neck relax as you start to come up. Keep coming up slowly, gradually. Press into your feet. Make a generous circle. Overhead, inhale. Hands to the heart. Exhale. And walk your feet back in. Shake your legs out. And let's have a seat. As we sit down, let's take the legs out in front of us. So if the hamstrings, the backs of the thighs are tight, sometimes when we try to both straighten the legs and get our spine vertical, there's just not enough length in the backs of the legs and it'll pull our pelvis and tuck it under. So we're gonna, if that's happening to you, or if you suspect it might be, you're gonna lean a little bit back. So sometimes we'll bend the knees and keep the torso upright. For right now, we're gonna straighten the legs and let the torso lean back to give us more room until the hamstrings can tolerate the position nicely and you don't feel like you're being pulled, like the pelvis is being pulled and tucked under. Yeah, that's it, Connie. Lift the chest, broaden the collarbone. Oh, hello, there you go. Good. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Now, come up so you're sitting tall, and let's change the leg position. Right leg goes out in front of you. Left knee bends, and the left foot comes up to the inner thigh. It might touch, it might not touch. For some folks, it feels better if the foot is away from the leg. You can choose that. If, when you come into this position, it's uncomfortable for the knee on this bent leg, grab your block, tuck it underneath. Give it a little support so that the groin is happy, the knee and the hip are happy. If your knee in whatever position is very happy there, you can leave it alone. Lean a little bit back like we did in the last pose. Get really long in your spine, open across the front of the chest and the collarbones. And then take that length with you and come up a bit more vertical. This is where how the pose looks will vary from one human to another. I'm just going to tilt this down so it's a better view at the seated poses. So if you're here, and you can sit tall, and you're feeling a stretch in the back of the thigh, great, you'll stay right there. Place the hands wherever it works for you, so the spine can be long, and the hamstring is okay in that straighter leg. If you're a little too comfortable, keep the spine long, tilt the whole torso. So your pelvis is tilting with the rest of your spine. You're not leaving the pelvis behind. And then place the hands where it works for you. They can go to the leg, they can go to the floor, they can go to the foot if your hamstrings are especially long. It's not like karma brought our hamstrings, like we'll be more enlightened if our hamstrings are stretchier. It doesn't work that way. Feel what sensation is going on in your body in this pose, especially in the back of that straight leg. And adjust how far you're going forward based on the sensation you feel in the back of the thigh, not based on a picture of a pose that we're striving to emulate. The outer form is not what's important. Take a couple more breaths here. Slowly, gently, walk your way back to upright. Gather the knee in and change legs. The same thing over here. As you bend one knee, take the other leg out. Start leaning back. Give your hamstrings all the space they could possibly want, maybe even more than they need. Feel the length in the spine, and then keep a little bit of your brain in the back of the thigh as you come more upright. And just notice, not just notice like it's minimal, but limit the attention to really noticing what's happening in the back of the thigh. If there's a lot of stretch there, you're already in the pose. If there's not much stretch in the back of the thigh and it's comfortable, you'll tilt the whole pelvis and the spine forward. Place the hands wherever they are comfortably placeable. And breathe. Breathe and breathe and breathe. Yeah. Notice the sensation in the back of the straight leg. Yeah. Lift the heart, broaden the collarbones, and breathe. Feel this pose from the inside out. Forward bends tend to have a calming effect compared to back bends. However, they can also be really confrontational. And they can put us in a space that feels competitive, whether it's competitive with other yogis or like we're trying to compete with ourselves. So just notice if that's coming up, that's something that happens. Observe and breathe. Be as kind with yourself as possible, especially if the internal dialogue seems like an internal fight. And when you're ready, gently come back up. Come gradually to upright. Gather up the knee once you're there. And stretch the legs out. Lean back generously and swing the legs, the feet, the ankles, the knees, the thigh bones, in and out and in and out and in and out. Lie down on your back. And let's take a hip stretch. So you might cross the right ankle over the left thigh. And from here, we have many options. So if your right ankle is crossed over, the right outer hip, the right buttock area, deep to the glutes, is where we're looking to feel this stretchy tug. So one common way to get there is lift the bottom foot and reach the arms through to clasp behind the left thigh. This works nicely for some. For others, it doesn't work so well. For some bodies, it doesn't feel so comfortable to reach through. So another way to do this is put the bottom foot back down and use the hands to fine-tune where your right shin is. Some days, it may feel like coming in straight to the chest does the trick, or maybe moving the knee across the body more in one direction or another. Once you find a position where you notice some stretchy feeling deep in the outer right buttock or hip area, stay on it, breathe, relax your neck and your jaw and your shoulders. Stay there in the sensation with your breath, playing your edge. Inhale and exhale. Rock gently side to side while you're in the hip stretch. What does it feel like if you let the head roll side to side? Unwind gently and change legs. Start with whatever you did on the first side, crossing the ankle, either reaching through, clasping behind the right thigh, or leaving the right foot on the floor, using the hands to guide the position of the left shin. It may take a moment to find the sweet spot where you notice some sensation deep in the hip, and you can still breathe. Often one side is tighter than the other, but keep listening and looping your attention into the hip. What's it like now? What's it like now? And now. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. If you like, rock gently. Allow the head to roll side to side. Unwind the legs. Take a hand on each knee, hugging the knees to the chest, and circle the knees around any way they'd like to circle. Reverse. Now roll the whole body over to one side. Let's say maybe roll your whole body over to the side where you can see your screen. If you like to have a pillow, a blanket, or support under your head, you can have that. You can also let your head rest on your mat. That's okay for our purposes here. The shins will stack. If you like a pillow or a blanket between them, you can have that too. Top arm goes on top of the bottom arm. See how close you can get to stacking one palm over the other, but don't stress if they don't line up. And then slowly start to lean your top shoulder back so your hand is pulling, top hand is going up the elbow to the upper arm, across your chest until your elbow is way out, poking out to the side, and then unfurl your arm. You're in a twist. That's great. We're going to come right back in. Bend the elbow first so the hand goes to around the shoulder, collarbone, and then bring the hand across the chest and all the way out. Maybe the fingers go a little further, the fingers of the top hand. They pass the bottom hand. Maybe. And then slowly back along the arm across the chest. The elbow pokes out to the side. Unfurl the arm. Bend the elbow. Bring the hand in. Go right across your chest. Maybe out beyond your fingers. How far can they reach? The top arm past the bottom arm. And then come back again, just like that. Open up. One more time. When you're in the twist, stay there with the arms open. If the head and neck would appreciate some repositioning for comfort, you can take care of that. And breathe while you're here. Shoulders melt down. If you're really comfortable and you want to stretch one leg or both legs out a little or a lot, you could do that. It's an option. Deep breath in and out. And if the legs are stretched out, pull them back in again and bend them. Bring the arm in. Roll to the other side. And as you go to the other side, same starting position. Stack the hands as much as possible. And slowly pull the top hand back. Yeah, you can add the blanket between the shins or under the head as worked for the other side. Across the chest, the elbow pokes out to the side, unfurl the arm. And the elbow bends, the hand goes across the chest, and then out. Just like that. Hand comes across the arm, the upper chest, elbow out to the side, unfurl. Bend the elbow, the hand goes across, and then see if the hand, top hand, can go out way beyond the bottom hand. Oh, that's nice for the upper back. And then back we go again. One more time, in and out. And the next time that you open up into the twist, you'll stay there. Once you're in the twist, again, making any comfort adjustments for head, neck, shoulders. Extending one or both legs if that feels good, leaving them right where they are if that feels good. This is a spinal twist that's for your body. So keep listening. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in And breathing out. When you're ready, return to center. Rock gently side to side. And check in with your body. What way would it like to move? You might feel called to curl up into a compact little ball, or maybe stretch out. Breathe and listen to your body. And when you are ready, feel free to take another moment to unwind. When you are ready, stretch yourself out for Shavasana, our final resting pose. Take a breath in. Squeeze every muscle and let it go. Take another breath in, squeeze, and let it go. And last time, deep breath in and squeeze. And let it all go. Allow the toes, feet, and ankles to relax. Let the calves and knees and thigh muscles rest. The gluteal muscles, the low back, and the upper back relax. Fingers, hands, and arms letting go. The shoulders melting, connecting with the earth. Let the belly rise and fall any way it wants to. Swallow and relax the throat, the jaw, the tongue. Let the cheeks, eyes, and forehead relax. And let the scalp and the muscles along the nape of the neck lengthen and loosen. And perhaps as you rest here, you might sense in those places that you are connected, physically touching the mat and beneath that the earth, that you're receiving a recharging benefit from the earth herself. You can relax into the earth as you're lovingly held by her, being replenished and gently restored. Let the breath flow in and out as you reconnect to the healing power of Mother Earth and the healing wisdom of your own body. Gently let the breath deepen. Let it flow through the entire body, continuing to refresh you. Begin to move the hands and feet. Roll the head gently side to side. And as you're ready, stretch the arms overhead and lengthen the body into a generous stretch. And draw the knees one at a time in, one knee, then both knees. Rock. And in your own time, make your way to one side. And come up to seated. And as you find your vertical once again, bring the palms together. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, lower the chin. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be safe and at ease. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today. Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you, Ann.
Oh, thank you.
And
Thank
what?
you, Anne.
Thank you, Ann.
And what's your last name?
Braden, Braden.
Okay. Yes. Yes. And what classes do you teach?
I teach usually a gentle class on Mondays at 12:30 and a chill level one, which is actually similar to what we did today, on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10:35 a.m.
Okay, that's probably why I missed you because I work full time. But I loved your class. It was just beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
It's so much.
Wonderful. Thanks, Ann.
Oh,
Thanks,
thanks for
Anne. Have a
joining
good
us. Good to
weekend.
see
Thank
everybody.
you, Ann. It's nice to see you again.
Take care.
Bye.
Anne.